Harvest lines have become the light yarder of choice for many Kiwi contractors to access difficult places to reach, trees on steep sites, or as in this case with MHELogging operation in the central North Island, when crews are required to tread lightly for environmental reasons. This machine, owned by Mike Harris and wife Chrissy, is number 48 to roll out of the EMS workshop in Rotorua since the first harvest line was designed and built almost 3 decades ago, and it's the 33rd two-drum interlock model, most of which has been constructed in just the last 5 years. The last time New Zealand Logger magazine looked at the harvest line, it was one of the first interlock 3-drum models. That was before EMS introduced the Hawkeye grapple carriage, which has essentially made the 3-drum option redundant. So we are well overdue to have a look at a 2-drum machine. Mike's machine offered the perfect opportunity as he chose to put the harvest line onto an identical Volvo-E380 base to his harvester processor that we tested a couple of years back. That makes it the first purpose-built Volvo forestry tracked carrier to be converted into a harvest line. The new harvest line is working near the eastern flanks of the Minginui Forest, where the blocks of 73-year-old Douglas fir are finally coming down to make way for radiator pine. Before the Douglas fir, the native trees that occupied these lands for thousands of years have left a legacy of fine, rich soils that are very fragile and have been formed into a series of gullies due to the wet climate. Although the land doesn't look steep, ground-based harvesting is off limits in many areas for environmental reasons. That fact is very obvious as we stand next to Mike's big yellow harvest line and look across to the bulldozer acting as a backline. Although the backline sits on the ridge, it's not much higher than where we are. At least there is a nice dip in the middle to provide plenty of deflection to keep the wood off the ground during drags. Mike owned the older harvest line for many years to do these sorts of jobs as part of the requirement in his contract with forest owner Timberlands. They're ideal for this sort of work, and Mike is very impressed with the latest generation model from EMS. The technology has come a long way, he says, and it makes the task very simple. Much of that is due to the Hawkeye grapple carriage, which was also developed and built by EMS. Among its features are 3 video cameras that send views of front, rear, and below to the operator in the Volvo cab, which makes it much easier to spot felled trees amidst the slash on the ground. It's also equipped with powerful lighting for night work and in poor visibility. The controls are activated through the normal joysticks and additional pedals on the floor. Our IronTester Sean Field adapted to the controls within minutes and was guiding the grapple down to the trees, rotating it with ease to align with the trunk, closing the jaws and retrieving the wood as if he'd been operating the machine for months. It will go even better when the wider grapple that EMS is making for Mike is fitted. Our test showed that the hydraulics and delivery of power from the Volvo base is well matched to the harvest line. No jerkiness or lack of performance here. It felt just like other Volvos in Mike's fleet. 2 large main drums and the smaller straw line winch are nicely integrated into the top rear of the machine, with nice fit and finish by the EMS team. The extra weight provides a good balance when the Hawkeye is pulling in trees that can tip the scales at 7 tonnes. No sign of instability here, especially with the big bucket dug into the ground to steady the tower. The harvest line has also shown that it can be very productive in settings like this, and when combined with its ability to protect the environment, it shows the true worth of this type of yarder in the New Zealand bush.